Hello, YouTube. We're going to be talking about playing small in life. If you play small, if you dim your own light, we're just going to get Instagram live up. Then this is for you. And I'm going to give you a bit of a story. Hello, Instagram, going live on all platforms. We're going to be talking about if you are playing small, what it looks like to play small, what it looks like to dim your light because you have a fear of judgment, because you have a fear of what people are going to say. Maybe you have a fear of success. What happens if you get the success that you desire? Do you feel like you can handle it? Do you feel like you can maintain it? And so I'm going to speak about what it looks like to play small. And I'm actually going to talk about me last year, me in 2023. I started to play really, really small in my business because I started to really care and dedicate so much time and energy into caring about what my friends, in particular, the friends I grew up with, the friends I met in my 20s, my high school friends, were thinking about me, saying about me. I also started to play small because I didn't believe. I started to instill this belief in myself in 2023 that I wasn't as good as the other coaches in the industry. And keeping in mind, this was my last year was my 4th year in business. So I had 3 years where I was building and scaling a business, where I knew all of this. I teach this. This is, the basis of the WoMastery methodology. But I share this with you because it can happen to anyone. It can happen no matter how many times or how many years you're doing this work. It can happen over and over and over again. I apologize for the noise. I forgot to shut the door. Hopefully it's not too distracting. But I started to water down myself in my business last year. I started to water down my opinions. I started to water down my values. I started to water down the way that I was selling and marketing my services, my expertise. I started to really put myself in a box that I felt like I couldn't get out of. I'm going to close that door because it's super distracting. 2 seconds. Okay, hopefully that's a little bit better. But I started to put myself in a box where I remember last year I felt like, so I went to Europe for 2 months in July. And I remember being in July and I was just sharing a lot of travel content. I was just sharing a lot of different stuff and I felt super, super free. And I was like, I haven't been feeling like this at all this year. I got back and I started to feel more constricted. I started to feel like I was in that box. I started to really overthink anything I wanted to share or say. And I think I started using Threads shortly after Europe. And I started to feel like this freeing feeling again that I had felt in Europe. And what I realized, the direct correlation is in Europe, I felt like this different, more freer person. I felt like I was someone who was fully living in her truth. I felt super expansive. I felt like everything I did wasn't putting myself into a box. And when I started to use Threads, it was kind of like I didn't really place any importance on Threads. I think it's a really powerful, I still use it to this day, platform, but I didn't place any importance. And I didn't really have followers on there at that time. So I was just posting my downloads, my thoughts, whether they were business related, lifestyle related, random little ways of my thinking, things that I would share with my friends. And I started to feel super free on that platform. And going back to what I said, there was a direct correlation between that and the way I was feeling in Europe. And I think subconsciously, we are all super highly intuitive, right, as female business owners. But I believe I started to really, really feel like, okay, I was feeling free, and now back in my normal life, I'm feeling super constricted. What is happening? And playing small is a result of caring what other people are going to say about you, how they're going to perceive you. Also, playing small means that you aren't placing enough value on yourself and on your worth. You are comparing yourself to either someone else there out in the industry, out in your life, or you aren't setting realistic expectations and standards. This is an important conversation. This is one that I have with all of my clients. You can have high expectations and standard, but you also need to have a measurement that is viable. Because if you're not being in the moment and realistically seeing what your next expectation and standard are, and it's like let's say you're at a part in business, career, your health right now, and the next version of you is here, but you're constantly looking at a goalpost that is over here. It is going to forever feel like you're playing catch up. And I was definitely there. I was chasing these goalposts, one goalpost after another, go, 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 go on repeat. And I felt that I was getting stuck into these ways of being where it was like I was never satisfied with the work I was doing. I was never satisfied with the goals that I was hitting in my business and in my personal life. And so, what that feeling starts to emulate in your body is your nervous system doesn't feel safe whatsoever. And the Woman Mastery Method, which is a big foundational for the big foundation for Become the CEO 12-week mastermind. So Become the CEO Mastermind, which is currently enrolling, is all around female entrepreneurs wanting to scale to 10 to 30K consistent months, create a legacy, create an impact, but also be able to design a life that goes hand in hand with their business. Because this is what I started to feel in 2023. I was playing small and I started to design this life that wasn't like the life and my business weren't an extension of each other. So in Become the CEO, it's really about becoming the leader of your life and your business, being able to make a consistent income where you have time freedom, you can have money freedom. That can look like being able to stop business working at 3 p.m. and spend time with your kids, or it can look like saving up for a farmhouse with lots of farm animals and you go there every weekend with your family or your friends. Or it can look like being able to upgrade to a business class flight when you do your bi-monthly travel. So Become the CEO really embodies the woman mastering method, which at the top of it stems from creating your version of success and really getting behind that and really leading yourself in that. And the 3 phases of woman mastery that I had to extensively go through to make me realize I was playing small. And I want you to start to like just do a checkpoint in your head right now. Number 1, the first phase is subconscious programming. Where was my belief system at? Where were my deep rooted unconscious beliefs at? And a lot of them were, I'm so scared of what this person's going to say, or I'm not good enough to say this opinion, or like, what if I say this but like share my values and I get kickback? Remember, in life, we are governed by the universal law of polarity. Without one side of the pole, we can't have the other. So anytime that you believe, okay, if I put out this opinion on the internet, I may get a kickback. That is an absolute possibility. That's exactly the way that the law of polarity works. So that is just something like a quick neutralization activity to think about. But going through the 3 phases again that I want you to look at if you feel that you're playing small is absolutely number 1, look at your programming, look at your belief system, look at what you inheritedly believe. Like consciously, you can be like, yeah, I'm a leader and I'm making this in my business and I feel really good. But like, what's your behavior? Your behavior will always reflect your unconscious beliefs. Number 2, identity shifting. You actually have to step in to that version of you of what you desire. There was a certain goal that I really wanted last year and I didn't hit. And this is very common as business owners. Like, I think let's normalize and neutralize the fact that we can set goals and not hit them. But that's failure equals feedback, right? It's one of the best things. You fail fast, you fail quickly. I say that to my clients. It's one of the best things that you can do for yourself because you can get that feedback. And if you can minimize the gap between learning that feedback and implementing the feedback, then you are going to be a very, very successful person. And so there were a couple things that I set as goals last year in my business for my lifestyle that I didn't hit. And it was simply because I wasn't stepping into the identity of someone who has that, who operates from that place. You can't, if you're hitting 8K months and you want to be hitting $20,000 months, which has happened to a client of mine, you can't be operating at an 8K mindset. You can't be making decisions from an 8K mindset. You need to be making decisions from a 20K mindset. This doesn't mean that you have to be putting yourself in debt or you have to, go to the most bougie farmer's market to buy your produce, because that's what your 20K version would do. But this feeds into phase 3, but it's about regulating to that new capacity and setting in an identity. Like, what is the way you operate? It's all the first 2 phases is like, what are you believing? How's the way that you are operating? How are you operating every single day? Because the identity that you currently have is not going to get you to where you want to go. And in business, and we work on this, the first pillar inside of Become the CEO Mastermind is all about CEO identity. If you're watching now live, go to my stories. I post the entire, and if you're on YouTube, go to my Instagram stories. I post the entire first pillar of what it looks like inside of Become the CEO and what that embodies. And it's really about stepping into that person of, I'm no longer operating as this identity, I'm operating in this one. And then the third phase of the Woman Mastery methodology is regulating to a new capacity, feeling safe in your nervous system, but being able to hold the wins and the new clients and more money, but equally at the same time, simultaneously as a business owner, as wanting to hit different goals. Are you actually being able to hold the space for your failures? Are you able to hold the space when a client payment declines? Are you able to hold the space when you're conversing with someone and they tell you they're going to sign up, and then a week later they ghost you? If your nervous system can't handle both of these in it simultaneously, you are not going to be a successful business owner, and this is going to cause you to play small because your nervous system doesn't feel safe. And this is what I was seeing in 2023, these patterns that I'm sharing with you. I witnessed in myself, I've witnessed in my clients. And so, the nervous system thing is like, if you can celebrate this 20K launch. I had a client, she had a 40K sales launch, but she had to equally hold that at the same time of potential clients pulling out, payments failing, and things in her personal life falling to shit. Like that, like regulating your nervous system to hold all of that. There are so many coaches who are just like, yep, you need to just hold more money, do more, be more. Great, but like, can you actually be more when your life is falling apart? Can you actually be more when it's the fifth payment decline of your client in the month? Can you actually be more when you launch something that people are interested in, and like no one's signing up? Equally, can you be more and hold more and raise your standards when you're having a 5K launch, a 10K launch, a 50K launch, or a 100K launch, when you attract a big amount of money, when you are able to actually hold that standard? And I think that playing small in life, playing this game of life, playing small is a way to protect ourselves really at the guts of it, the unknown, protect ourselves from what we don't know what's about to happen, but we don't know what's about to happen. And if we want the big wins in life, if we want to succeed in life and reach our version of success, whatever that looks like to you, we need to be able to have these conversations with ourselves of, okay, this is my programming, this is my identity, this is my nervous system capacity right now. And if you are a business owner and you want to scale consistently, create a legacy, design a life, and you want to actually become the CEO of your life and your business, I invite you to come and join Become the CEO Mastermind. If you're not a business owner, but this is resonating with you, definitely 100% sign up to my self-paced program, the Fem Club. This used to be my old signature program. I stopped it the middle of last year, and it has had 200 plus students in it who have taken this. It's about eliminating your self-sabotaging behavior and creating a clear direction for life. So being able to get rid of all the behaviors and the habits that don't serve you and actually mold your life to something that makes sense for you. So that's forever. If you don't have a business, definitely hop into that. But if you are a female entrepreneur, you want to scale consistently and you want to become the leader of your business in your life, get into Become the CEO. But I wanted to share that. I wanted to share my experience that 2023 for me, if I look at a business wise, it was a really difficult year for me, business and life, because there was so much that I was navigating in my psyche, in my mindset, that kept me small. Keeping yourself small, you're doing yourself a disservice. Keeping yourself small, you are not living life to its full potential. You here watching this, you are here to live an above average life. You here watching this, you are here to create the most out of life. You are here to do the most out of life. And this is what I see in my clients. I see them do the absolute fucking most in their life and create the most in their life. That's the insane thing about the woman mastery methodology, is being able to create that space and movement in your life to master yourself as a woman, to live an above average life, whatever that you've defined that by. And instead of shrinking yourself to fit into the perceptions of other people, shrinking yourself to fit into the perceptions of, the industry or your career or whatever it may be, playing small in life is going to create a very boring life. Playing small in life is going to create a life that isn't fulfilling, that isn't inspiring. And frankly, that's not a life I want to live. I know it's not a life that you want to live. So something to leave you with, something to start your day or end your day with. If you want any more information on those capacities to work with me and what's going on, where women are moving into, send me a DM. If you're over on YouTube, definitely let me know in the comments and we can have a chat. But I'm super, super fucking excited for Become the CEO because it's a masterpiece. It's really the way to explain it. It's a masterpiece. It's 5 years of putting all my concepts, all my trainings, everything that I've ever learned as a business owner and as a woman who is on the path of woman mastery. Just it's beautiful. I absolutely love it. And I know you will love it too. And of course, there are the other options if you're not a business owner. But I will speak to you in my next live. Bye.